Jesus. I think some earplugs. Oh, that's better. Earplugs make all the difference. Motorcycles are surprisingly loud. I think if you measured it in pure decibel terms, it's a bit like putting your head outside the window of a car while you're going along the motorway. Anything more than 90, 100 decibels for a prolonged period of time will definitely dull your hearing a bit after a while. You can still hear the bike okay, and other traffic. Just takes all the noises of the road away a bit. That's the longest day today, 21st of June. And it's going to be a really nice warm day. And it's Father's Day. So I should imagine there'll be loads of people at Matlock. The shed load. It's normally pretty busy anyway. Oh, I smell chips. That's given me an idea. .5 meters. So it's pretty torquey, this bike, look. 40 miles an hour. This is really steep hill, 4th gear, and it's holding the speed. I've never ridden a pre-2023 bike. I just wonder if they're quite as torquey as this. I mean, the figures would suggest not, and the stroke of the engine. But we're still going up. We're up to 50 now. It just keeps on pulling. Yeah, pretty good. Not bad for a little 125. Definitely tuned for torque, this bike is now. Which is a good thing really, because you do see pictures of them in Far Eastern countries where they've just got a great big plank on the back and they're loaded up to the gunnels with, you name it, half a market store and a family. So you don't need brake horsepower then, you don't need top speed, you need torque. And a very low first gear. The bike's really happy at 55 miles an hour like this. Really pleasant ride, very smooth. Handles the corners nicely as well. Roll on through there. Roll on through that one. Really nice. Still keeping 50. That's really brave. Lovely bike to ride. Come on, race you. Come on then. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Down, down, down. No, they've got me. Orange light. Oh God, someone's gone through there again. Swarkston Bridge is just a nightmare. I mean, can you believe this is a bus route? How a bus gets through here, I've got no idea. That'll do. Some parts it's just too narrow for 2 cars to cross, so you just have to rely on judgment or the other driver, which is never a good idea. But I think this would make a fantastic rally route. You know, a stage on a rally would be brilliant along here, because it's very narrow, bendy and bumpy, and there's always wheel trims and things everywhere. It's an ancient causeway from, God, hundreds of years ago, because this is all floodland around here. So it's all very marshy. And the only way that they could, the only way they could be sure that they could get across here was if they really built it all up. So hundreds of years ago they built it all up and compacted it down, and by hand probably. And it's still here. Swarkston Bridge. And here's the actual bridge over here that we're coming up to, by the Crew and Harbour pub next to the canal. It's a lovely part of Derbyshire. Down to 1 bar on the fuel, so I should be stopping shortly. I need some E10 this time. E5 I mean. I had E10 last time. And there's a definite difference in how much torque there actually is. Oh, and it says so. Good stuff. Good stuff. Right, here we go. Right, let's have fun doing this. This is always great fun, this is. You have to be so delicate with it. Supreme 99, that's the stuff. E5. Rocket fuel. 171. Jeez. I mean, bloody hellfire.
Now there's so little in here. To fit it to the top, you have to be real careful. You can't just pull it. You can't just pull it on full. You just have to tease it in. Because it'll be all over the place if you did it quickly. I'm just barely squeezing it in here. There we are, they're already up. From an empty tank. Now you have to do the trickle. Trickle. All the way to the top. There we are. Not a drop spilled. Every last little drop in. There we are. Leave it.
Leave it. Oh, look at that. Oh, 1 drop. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, bugger. Leave a little tiny gap at the top. Don't forget to turn it off. Turn it off. Let's go and pay. There we are. Full tank of good stuff. E5. Now, one thing I miss about motorcycling on big bikes is what you don't feel now, because on a big bike, if you fill the tank up, when you get on it again, you can feel how cold the fuel is on your thighs. And it's really nice thinking, oh, that lovely petrol's in there. And you can feel how cold it is. But of course, you know, not on this bike. I wish they did put a bigger tank on it though. 3.7 litres is a bit daft. Not enough. Where the hell are you going? Blimey. You went on the wrong side of the island. Unbelievable. You have to have eyes in the back of your head these days. I think another reason why the cover appeals to me is it is very much like a motorcycle in so many ways. Not only because of the gears, because you haven't got automatic like a scooter, but even though it's such a small and light bike, I mean just over 100 kilos, you're still able to hold your own really well in the traffic, dominate your lane. You're very visible. I mean, I'm sure the leg shields help a great deal there, and the LED lights definitely. People do see me. I've got a white helmet on as well. I always have a white helmet. I'd recommend everybody else have one as well, because they're very seeing. And you're able to ride it very much like a motorcycle. Dominate your lane, use the gears, be seen, and it's not like a little scooter at all. It's very much like a motorcycle. Look down to third, second at that sort of speed. off into first. Lift the clutch up gently. We're at the lights set and ready. And we're away. It's always a really lovely ride on a day like today. The A6 through the Derwent Valley, coming into Matlock from this direction. Get to go through the mills and all the little towns, and we go past the heritage centre for cars. I forgot what it's called. It's where there's lots and lots of British cars and you can get to drive them. We'll be passing that in a bit. We have a top gear roll on here, 30 to 40. The top gear uphill. And there you are, there's 40 straight away. Torquey little bike. Another very brave cyclist. And a learner. It's a mobile chicane. Nice yellow fog lights, you can certainly see you coming. 1.5 metres. On a day like today where it's such nice weather and there's obviously a lot of people about. It's only just gone, it's only 10:15 in the morning on Sunday. It's just so nice to ride a bike like this and just enjoy. The speed limits along this A6 all the way to Matlock are just 30, 40 and 50, and that's it. This is a 50-mile-an-hour road and not many people even going that fast. So you stand out like a sore thumb on a sports bike overtaking everybody. So you might as well sit back. There it is. Great British Car Journey. That's what it is. It's like a heritage centre for British cars. And you can book and drive them. You can actually drive them. I've been there a couple of times. It's been really good. Also, the cafe's excellent. It's proper dinner ladies with pie and chips and gravy. It's absolutely wonderful. And just a bit further along, just here, is one of my favourite little stops. I always stop on the way to Matlock, where all the other bikers stop as well. Right, time for a bit of posing. Let's show the old girl off. Alright, off we go again. Do you want to see a burnout? See you, mate. Overtaking into the face of oncoming traffic. In the last video I didn't have my little dead mouse fitted to my microphone, and because of that it was difficult to hear what I was saying, so hopefully it's a lot better now. I thought I'd reiterate what I said last time about the differences between this bike and the first 2019 bike, which look outwardly the same. So between 2019 and 2023, the engine they used was different to what this engine is in. This is a 2026 bike, and there's lots of differences. This is basically the bottom end of the CT110, the Japanese model, the CT110. So it's got the bottom end 4-speed gearbox of the CT110, and the top end is from the Grom bike. So lots of things are different. The bore is 50 millimeters instead of 52 on the early bikes, but importantly the stroke is longer, so they've gone for a slightly smaller bore, slightly longer stroke. There's quite a few other differences as well, such as fueling and the electronics controlling everything. Like I say, I've not ridden one of the first bikes, so I don't know to compare it to, but this bike is torquey, and it's one of the things I like best about it. You roll on from 45 up to 50, and it just, off it goes, it's going, just wants to go. And this bike's done 394 miles. I'm told they loosen up even more as they get a bit older. Right, let's do some filtering. Always pretty scary doing filtering. Slow speeds, indicator on. Slow observation, indicator on. Eyes in the back of your head. I'm not going to go around there, that's totally blind. What if a lorry comes the other way? I'll be squished. Here we are, coming into Cromford. Sweet part of the world. I think there must be some sort of a meet on or something, because there's quite a few classic cars and modern classics and sort of performance type cars about. There's a few of them here, look. There's a whole row of them. Some car meet. Yeah, fascinating place, Cromford. The world's very first factory. Oh, you beauty. The world's very first factory is just behind over there, and it was a mill, and it's all listed now, of course, all of it class 1 listed, because it's such a historic site. The world's first factory, the world's first housing specifically for factory workers, and one of the houses has got a pigsty in the back garden made out of stone. Here it is, here's the mill. Yeah, the pigsty made out of stone in the back garden is grade 1 listed. Oh my dear life. That'd drive you insane, wouldn't it, after a while? Or you're overtaken into the face of oncoming traffic. I would say that was for sure. Trying to keep up with your mates is never a good idea. These sort of cars and this sort of scene and stance, you know, when the cars have all got silly wheels all splayed out and everything, it's a bit like wearing your underpants showing, you know, lower than your having your trousers lower than your underpants on purpose. You know, these guys that do this sort of stuff, they think it looks dead cool, but really everyone thinks you're, you know, a bit of a prat. And they have got a point. Right, here we are, going into Matlock Bath. Let's see if we can find a car park space. Or a bike park space. Doesn't look too busy at the moment. What a joy. Anyway, we've arrived. Oh, try doing that on your Harley Davidson. Ooh, Lamborghini, that's nice. Where's your front number plate? Try doing that on a Harley as well. I've got this wonderful jacket that's got zips underneath the arms. Don't know if you can see that. They're an absolute godsend now. There's zips at the back as well, so you get fresh air right underneath your armpits, which is just wonderful on a day like today. Miles. Only another 200 to go, and then I can have the armament neck removed at a Honda dealer for doing a job that a 12-year-old child could do. Still needs must to keep the warranty. After that, it's all DIY for me. We're not going to service this bike any better than I can, that's for sure. Almost certainly worse. Hey, on the cup. Oh, that was lucky. Oh, I reached inside my helmet to get something off my face and I lost my microphone. It's on a little magnet inside my helmet and it just fell out. But luckily it was lying in the road. Very lucky there. Expensive. Something else I didn't cover in the previous video about the differences between these bikes, the early ones and the later ones, is in 2019 and for the first 2 or 3 years everybody used to complain a great deal that the suspension was too soft on the bike. Again, I haven't ridden one of these bikes, so I don't know, but seeing so many people did complain about it, and the fact that Honda actually did something about it means that it probably is true that it was a bit too soft, maybe underdamped as well, which is a favourite thing to do with cub bikes over the years. Built for rough roads really, which is where they get used a lot of the time. Now in 2023, when Honda revised a lot of other things about the bike in this model, they also addressed the suspension, so this has got a stiffer spring rate and more damping than the earlier bikes. So when people say, oh, on the groups they go, oh, who uses so and so shocks and what shocks are you using? You're tempted to ask straight away, what gear is your bike? Because people might think before they buy the bike that they're going to have to change the shock straight away because they might be slightly heavy for it or whatever. But I know this bike's only done 411 miles, but this is a good ride on this bike. It's a good compromise with being stiff enough and compliant enough. It's not wallowing all over the road. It's definitely well damped. I thought it was pretty firmly sprung when I first got on it, and it'll probably loosen up in time. Let's give it 60 miles an hour down here, up straight to 60, no problem at all. 65. Red light for sure. Straight up to 50. Accelerates really well. And there's nearly 60. There's 60. It's the Mohicans. Hey. This is one place a bike comes into its own, because there's always queues here up to these traffic lights at the big roundabout on the ring road in Derby. So this car driver has no idea around here. So observation, mirrors, indicator on, and gently trundle by everybody. The safest way to do it. When doing manoeuvres like this, I always limit myself to just 20 miles an hour or so. Gives you a chance to be seen. Also, if someone just does something crazy like a U-turn right in front of you, which does happen, it's not going to be an horrendous crash, and you might even be able to stop. Oh yeah, front of the queue. Even after riding motorbikes for over 35 years, I still don't like filtering like that. It is one of the most dangerous things you can do on a bike. Given the level of distraction of most drivers these days, you really do have to keep your wits about you. Observation. Carriageway at speed. No problem at all. Often hear people say, oh, my bike will only go 45 miles an hour or something. But I'm really surprised at that. This goes really well, this does. Go for an overtake on a dual carriageway. Off we go. She goes. What's wrong with that? One nasty piece of road coming up now. So you've got to filter first, filter again, and then you end in this never-ending loop that goes round and round and round and round. And it's so overgrown, look, blimey. And then when it joins here, this is a terrible junction. Luckily there's nobody coming. So you come straight out into this, the end of a dual carriageway, which narrows down to one lane on a corner on a bridge. There's always accidents though. It's a terrible bit of road. Right, let's go for it. 40, 50, 60. Brakes are bending in nicely too. Off we go. Reformer Pilates. What does that mean? Does it mean reform as in reform your body? Or reformer as in you have to have a certain political leaning to be allowed on the group? Interesting. Right, East Midlands Airport, there we are. Lots of big planes. Getting more jumbos now around here. I live in Ashby and they take off over Ashby and get a lot of jumbos now. Never used to see them, but these days we do. People get told off for this now, but they sit up here on this bank that park up to see all the aeroplanes taking off. That's where they always sit. They come along and get told off for parking there. But it's a pretty cool place to be. The aeroplanes take off straight over the top of your head. Right next to East Midlands Airport we have Donington Park. So there's Donington Park Race Circuit behind the fence there. There's the little castle, Castle Donington. So that's the entrance there to Donington Park. Now one of the top corners, I can't remember the name of it, is it McLean's? Anyway, it's right on the path for the aeroplanes to take off, and drivers, the racers often say when there's been a lot of aeroplanes and it's wet, it's quite slippy there because of the fallout from the engines of the planes, dripping stuff or the fumes descending. There's Breedon on the hill. Beautiful big church right on the top of a massive cliff that used to be a huge quarry. A lot of the houses around here are made out of stone from that massive quarry there. Going into the little village now of Breedon itself. Now, Breedon's got the distinction of Breedon's got the distinction of having some of the worst speed bumps around here, especially this here. Who designed that has obviously never ridden a motorbike. That is really bad. If you hit that in the dark, in the rain, at the wrong angle, you'll be straight off. Not a thought to motorcyclists on that one. just holding it. And to finish off the tour of Leicestershire and Derbyshire, here we have Mount Refuse tip coming up on the left hand side. The smell is just unbelievable on a warm day like today. There it is. Oh, here it is. Yep, she's still going 55. Held it all the way up there. What a great bike. It's doing really well. So we're nearly back home, approaching the town of Ashby de la Zouch. Ashby de la Zouch, next to the sea. Historic market town, and a really sweet place. Now Ashby is so named. Wow, that's beautiful. Ashby de la Zouch is so named because of a guy called Zouch, or Zoch, Z-O-U-C-H, a Frenchman who was given a big load of land by a king, the King of England, in, well, it must have been 1700 and something, or was it 1600 and something? Anyway, local historian I am, I'll tell you all about it. Anyway, he was given this land, and it means Ashby of the Zouch because of his name, Zouch, Zoch. It's got to be a classic meeting on or something. There's another classic car. Anyway, it's an historic town. It's in the Domesday Book. It's it was always a market town from many years ago. Must be something going on here today. Ashby School. Yeah, historic market town. This is the main London road because it literally went all the way to London, and there's still a great load of history down in the town, the old buildings, and many of them having the alleyways down the side which are very tall with an arched top, so people, you could ride down to the back of the house on a horse, which is what everybody used to do. This is before we had cars, of course. So now if you go down through the town, there's no end of places like this first one on the right here that have tall entrances with archways on the top to let your horse go in. Majority of the town is actually now Georgian, and this is the main market street here. And it's a lovely place. All the flags are out. Always loads of great events and stuff going on in the town. We have soapbox racing, and there's a fair every year that comes. The statutes, because it was written in the statutes from 1100 and something, that the part of the goose fair from Nottingham could come here and have the town to itself for 3 or 4 days, and they still do it every year. And it's a lovely place. Right, that's it until next time. Hope you enjoyed the little adventure today. It was all good fun. And we'll see you all next time.